Hello, today is Saturday. I finally have a weekend free, which is nice because I've been traveling so much lately. Even the weekends get blurred with work travel. So, this series is all going to be about how to build a business, and I'm going to give you tips and things that we're doing in our business right now, and also what I would do if I was starting a business today. Because if you have any ideas of starting a business, the one thing you're going to want to do straight away is start building your personal brand. It is so important. People said this to me years ago, and I struggled with it. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I struggled with it for a while because you have to show up. And as a health professional, I thought, what are people going to think of me? They're not going to like me. They're going to judge me. That's not very professional, talking on camera. Why would we want to share our secrets in our business? There's so many things that come to mind. So what can you expect to find from me on this series? So I'm going to talk about what we're doing at SynxBody each week. So I'll give you a bit of a rundown of some of the challenges we've had, what we've had to overcome. I'll also be talking about the things that I love. So I'm a sports podiatrist, so I'm so passionate about health and wellness and fitness. So I might talk about exercise, I might talk about supplements I'm doing, any guests that I might have had on the podcast. That's me. I'm getting ready to head out and go shopping with my friend and our kids. And this is just a reminder, no matter what you're working on, to take a break. Like, it is so important, especially when you're building a business and you've got all these crazy ideas, you energize yourself from also taking a break outside of it and switching off. And I was never like that in the beginning. I used to go full pelt 7 days a week, but I learned the hard way that you will always come with fresher ideas when you take a break from everything and come back to it. So just a reminder to have some fun. SynxBody has been quite different to many people. So unlike everyone else who kind of built their business off the back of social media, we went out and got retail distribution first, and then we've started building up the social side. So we've kind of flipped it compared to most businesses our age. And I think it's interesting now coming back to like the side of it about media, but when you're actually looking at retail distribution, there's so many things you need to focus on as well. And I'm just going to give you a couple of tips. Like, if you really want to be in a retailer, the key is like buyers are actually looking for different brands that have a marketing strategy. So like founder brands and brands that have personality and are on social media, they're absolutely looking for you. But how can you find them? And the key is you have to hit them at a few different touch points. So what I tend to do when I'm looking for buyers is I'll go onto LinkedIn, I'll find out who they are, and you can actually go on premium as well, where you can actually message them first from there. Or there are other places that you can get email addresses. And then I'll reach out to the buyer first, I'll connect with them on LinkedIn, and then I'll send them a package or try and get a meeting. And I just keep persisting, because honestly, if you saw how many years, like even Terry White Kenmart, we tried for 8 years, every single year I would go and meet with the buyer, present, and then go back the next year. And the key is just don't give up, because whilst you might have an opportunity quickly, most things in retail take years in the making. It's not overnight. So I will be teaching you more about those tricks too, and how you can actually get retail space for your brands. But certainly like marketing and showing up just like this and on your channels and building all that marketing awareness is absolutely the key thing to be doing in 2025 and beyond. And that's exactly what buyers are going to be looking for. Good morning. It's Monday and I have just started my morning. I had my first coaching session of the day. And I thought it would be good to talk about coaches, because often I always get asked about mentors, and I have had so many different mentors over the years. And I think coaching is such a powerful way to jump ahead steps further than you want to, because in the years that I haven't had a coach, like I definitely remain more stagnant. And so I think it is so important, and it doesn't have to cost an absolute fortune. So obviously there's so many different coaching styles and there's so much content on YouTube. So even if you can't afford a coach, you could listen to someone who might be able to, give you some advice and ideas. But definitely, if you can afford one, highly recommend it. And often I'll have two on the go at once, depending on what challenges I'm trying to overcome or what I'm focusing on. At the minute, the stage of our growth, we definitely need someone to help us like explore our growth channels and how we're going to keep growing and scaling our business efficiently, because it's so important when you're at that stage that you don't make big mistakes, because obviously the more money you earn, the higher the risk. So it's really important that you're advised along the way. And I think one of the things, like as a podiatrist, I didn't do any business units at uni. So everything I've learned over the last 14, 15 years in business has been self-taught, but also obviously having coaches. And in 2019, I actually won the 40 under 40 overall like winners award. So I got a free course at the Australian Institute of Company Directors, AICD, and highly recommend it. And I think anyone who owns their own company should absolutely have that in their sights. It's a great course to do. With the way that content's consumed these days on social media, you've got to be very intentional at what you expose your brain to, to get those neurons firing and to be really focused. And, so I definitely think having something like that, that's why I listen to so many podcasts. But I'm about to jump into a meeting now to go through our marketing, and then I have another meeting after that, and then I'll be basically in emails and then figuring out what I want to do with my content this week. And because we did that big influencer outreach last week at SynxBody, we definitely need to figure out how we're going to track it. So I'm going to talk to my team about making sure we've got a good spreadsheet so that we can connect with lots of different micro influencers and also just macro as well, and really get really good feedback and systems in check, because that's one thing I have learned with a business. Like the more you get these new ideas and things you want to do, you have to track it. Otherwise you end up like thinking of an idea and you start it and it doesn't execute properly. So having like a good way to track it is always good. So I'm going to talk to my team this afternoon about that. And then it's just more Monday. I like to plan on a Monday. I like to have some creative time so I can think about what we want to achieve. Good morning. Today is Wednesday morning. I am just ready to start recording because I have a podcast in about half an hour. When I first wake up in the morning, my usual routine is I do some affirmations, I'll do a bit of journaling, and then I'll exercise. But on Wednesdays when I'm filming podcasts straight away, there's no time to do that. So I didn't do any exercise this morning, but hopefully I'll get there later. And then I'm interviewing Casey Boras today. So she has written a book called Next of Kin, and it's all about the sandwich generation in which people find themselves in, where they're still raising children, but then they need to take care of their parents, and navigating the Australian healthcare system and all the tools and strategies you need to be a carer and also like thrive in that time and enjoy it. So I can't wait to interview her today. And then I actually am going through a heap of resumes. We put a job out on Sunday for a full-time content creator, and we've had so many applications. So I've got to review them today with my team. And then I have a meeting with Taz and Alessia from TikTok. You might have seen them. So I'm going to come in and talk about what brands want for a lot of their creators. And for us, it's great because we're looking for a creator and creators to work with. So I'm hoping to connect with some people as well. And then I have some meetings. My sales and operations manager went to Melbourne today for a big meeting that we had. And I found that just like I hired Brock in January this year. So it's been coming up, I guess, into our 9th month. And he's amazing. He's been such a great asset to the company. But what it's also helped me do as well is reduce some of my travel, because so much of these things are always on me. And as a CEO, it's really hard because when you take yourself out of the business to like do these meetings, which I think is so valuable and important, but if you do them all the time, then you're not having enough time to like grow the business and make sure like you're focusing on the right things, like budgets, which I am finalizing and have been put off today. But I'm absolutely approving our budget and getting it done. That is my goal today as well. And because we have to actually set budgets for Australia and for New Zealand. And if you have a business and you've never done this before, like it is such an important process. Like we've been doing budgets obviously for quite a few years now, but the importance of knowing where you're spending your money and also looking at your cash flow, what you're expecting to come in, it means you can continually look at it every month and decide, am I overspending? Am I underspending? Can I pull money from here and take this opportunity because it's come up, or should I wait because things aren't going well? And I think for any business, like you have to, at an absolute minimum, you need to be looking at your outgoings and your ingoings every month and projecting like what's coming up, what are we focusing on? So definitely getting that done today is a huge win. But I would love to know in the comments, what kinds of interviews would you like me to do on the podcast? I would love to hear what your ideas are, because You know, connecting with you guys, our community is so important to me. And I keep interviewing people who I find fascinating around the world that have taught me different things that have helped me succeed. I would love to hear from you guys. Like, who do you want me to interview? Please put it in the comments, engage with me, because this is about to get really, really interesting, our YouTube channel, because we're going to be showing all the behind the scenes, what we're focusing on, and also what we're doing as a company. Yeah, so I'm going to kick off now into my prep planning for the podcast, but I'll be back later today. Just hit a massive milestone, and I want to thank all of our subscribers on YouTube, because look at this. We just hit 7K subscribers. And that is thanks to you guys who are tuning in and hitting the subscribe button. So if you're watching this video and you're not yet subscribed, take a look, please subscribe to us, because that is what helps us move towards growth on YouTube, is having more subscribers. Then we can put more budget behind it. We can create more cool content for you. So please make sure you hit the subscribe button. And for everyone who has, thank you. You have no idea, like, we've been pushing towards that 7K mark, and to hit it today is super exciting. The other thing you have to think of recording is having dogs here, because this little one barks a lot and he's a bit painful. But here I go, about to press record. So now I'm just about to join a Google Meet with Taz and Alessia. Oh my goodness, I'm on a high. I just had my meeting with Taz and Alessia. Oh my God, they're so beautiful. I can't wait to work with them on so many different levels, but we're going to have my talk to their community tomorrow on branding. So I'm excited about that. And then in between all that, so I'm just like, I didn't go to Melbourne because I had more things on, and I just got a message from one of my shareholders who, let me see if I can show you in the message. Look at that. Look what the cat dragged in. So they're all at an event, a Symbian event in Melbourne, and that's Laurel, who's my national manager at Farmer Broker, Brock, who's my national sales and operations manager, and Glenn, who's my shareholder, and they've all just bumped into each other. So now feeling jealous about that I'm not there. But that's the thing, you end up saying no to different opportunities because you want different ones, and that's what I've had to make a decision on. So just your reminder, if you're juggling too many things, sometimes you just have to say no to the things that aren't going to take you to your goals the quickest way. And I'm always doing that. So every day I'll write down, like, what are my big things that I'm focusing on? And then it makes it a lot easier to say yes or no to the things that pop up across my desk every day, because there's always opportunities. And if I said yes to every single one, it would keep me stuck. So that's your reminder for the day. Good afternoon. Today is Thursday, and I'm just about to jump onto a live call with Taz and Alessia in their creators community, which I'm super excited about, because it's great as a brand to get to speak to creators and tell them what we're looking for. And I really hope to connect with some really cool creators and even maybe hire someone, because we're looking for a full-time content creator to join us. And today we've had some challenges. So we have an office in the Philippines. It's basically an office that we started where they help you hire staff. So they help you recruit them. They have office buildings for them. We've been there for about 2 years, but now our team is growing and we've got plans for it to grow even more. We're actually looking into setting up our own office in the Philippines. So that means looking at lease agreements, looking at how we're going to fit it out and what types of things would be important to our staff over there. So we're just working on that project today, which is exciting. And really mainly just working again with pharmacy groups. So looking at, what activations are we running? This is a continual process when you're in pharmacy. I feel like it's never ending. We're always looking at different ones. But I'm just about to jump on the call now. Good morning. Today's Friday and we're heading off to the office. We're doing it every once a month, trying to get together in Perth, the three of us, and just do a bit of a monthly planning. Here's Nikita, waiting to get in too. Morning, Nikita.
Good morning.
How are you? Oh, you're our dear. We're getting ready for our team meeting. So we come in and hire a boardroom. It's great. We can do our team meetings in here, have space for everyone. Our team meeting. We've done our team meeting with Brock all the way over in Queensland, and obviously we are here in our in our office. And poor Brock, tell us, what do you feel like right now?
So I'm in an interview.
And we've just spent the best part
Friday afternoon, I'm loving it.
End of a week. This one was a big week. Probably my biggest achievements, I'd say, this week is we finalised the budgets for Australia and New Zealand, which was awesome. That's always such a process to go through. And, filmed some podcasts that were great. And then we also started some more processes. So what we're doing in our business is we're having a managers meeting every week, and then we're picking one area of the business to improve on. And it's usually always where the biggest problems are. So find the biggest challenges, and then each week sit down for an hour and a half as a team and try and find solutions to those problems, usually a process or something in place, or change the process of how something's been done, and then use that, and then the following week focus on a different area. And that's actually something on a larger scale that we did at Tony Robbins' Business Mastery, was the 7 forces of business mastery, and then looking at those 7 forces each week. And the companies that stay ahead are the companies that innovate, and they're continually looking, and the innovation is small. It is looking for better ways of doing things in every area of the business. And the only way you can do that is if you focus as a team with your management team once a week on different areas to improve. So we've definitely been implementing that. And so far it's really good, because when a challenge pops up, instead of feeling frustrated or angry, you're like, that's something for our team meeting. We can focus on that and improve it. And that's what we're going to do moving ahead and scaling this company, because as long as we have the foresight to look at all the areas of the business and how they're affected and keep changing things before it happens, we'll be prepared. So that's my tip for the day. And if you're still with me, thanks for listening in, and we'll see you next week for another week behind SynxBody.